Hey Flower Tribe. It's Kelly Lehman from Cranberry Fields Flower Farm. I'm so glad I'm back. I took a little bit of a break from some of the live YouTubes. We were doing our brand new podcast. But I'm back and I'm happy to be here with you guys. So I wanted to show you some great tips on how to put together some spring bouquets from the flowers that you're growing in your own backyard. So I wanted to check out some of these double daffodils. We're kind of going to start with those. So those of you that follow the channel know that I love double daffodils, and I'm going to try to give you guys a close-up of this one. So let me bring this one closer into the camera. I'm actually going to do a little readjusting here, just so you can see them better. So these are double daffodils. The fine folks over at dutchbulbs.com sent them to me years and years and years ago. And what I love about daffodils is that they come back every year. They're super low maintenance, and the deer hate them. And this is the reason why the deer hate them. They have something that comes out of the bottom of their stems. It's like this gooey, I'm going to try to give you a close-up again. It's like this gooey substance. And this gooey substance that's come out of it is very toxic to animals. So the deer, the rabbits, the squirrels, they will stay away from this plant for the most part because of this, I think it's called lycorine that comes out of the bottom of the stem. Now, it's a terrific flower to grow in your garden because it's going to, help you keep those pests away. However, when you are making arrangements with them, you want to make sure that you give them at least a few hours. I usually give them like a day to kind of get rid of that goopy, toxic, lycorine that's in the stems, especially because they will kill other flowers that are in your vase. So tulips especially hate them. So if you put freshly cut daffodils in a vase with freshly cut tulips, chances are the tulips are going to wind up dying because they're going to absorb that gook, and it's going to wind up killing them prematurely. So if you do want to use your daffodils with other flowers, just give them like a day to kind of be in like a separate, thing of water. And then what's going to happen is a little scab is going to form over the bottom. And then you can kind of take them out and put them into the arrangement. Just don't make the mistake of recutting the stems because that's going to open up that flow again. So we've got some double daffodils in here. I wanted to show you some of the branches that I just got from outside. So this is called a redbud. This is from my redbud tree. And my friend Leslie Harris, she has a podcast called Into the Garden with Leslie. I saw that she had said that you can eat these. And I Googled it and it looked like it was okay. Maybe Google it yourself. It said you can eat the little buds before they open up on a redbud tree, and they taste really good. So some people cook with them. They'll sprinkle them over like salads. Has like a very mild flavor, and some people even put them like in baking, like in cookies. So real fun fact on that. So the redbud tree, and what I'll do is I'll just kind of strip the bottom of some of these flowering branches that I have, and I'll cut them, and then I'll just kind of place them in my arrangements. Let's find a good spot for this guy here. Okay, I'm going to kind of stick him right in here. Now, I also have a whole bunch of weeping cherries right now, and I love weeping cherry trees. They're so beautiful. I have a few videos on some of my favorite flowering trees, so you can check that out on some of like the playlists that I have on my channel. But I just go out there at this time of year. I try to find ones that are not fully open yet. So you can tell over here, these top guys didn't, open up just yet, because when you put them in an arrangement in this full-blown open stage, they don't last very long. So these full-blown open flowers will last for a couple days, but then I know that these guys are going to wind up opening up, and then it will kind of carry that branch and make it not look like it's too pooped out. So we're going to add this guy to this arrangement. And I've already got a whole bunch of greens that I've just collected from around, the garden. I've got some ornamental pear trees that I kind of took off the white blooms because they were kind of spent, and I didn't want them to be falling all over the place. But I'll just kind of go around the yard. So I added some daffodils, some greens, some of these beautiful branches. And I want to show you a great tip, guys. Hellebores. I've been showing you a lot of videos on hellebores. I love this plant even more now because I'm realizing that it has a terrific vase life. So this is one of those plants that if you go out in the morning, you cut it, you put it in some water, it's going to give you like an amazing number of days as far as fresh vase life. And for this arrangement here, I want to show you, I just kind of did the whole bottom with all hellebores. So kind of drooping over the bottom of it, very romantic. You see that? So they're all kind of placed in here. So that's the story with that. And guys, I don't know about you, but when I go out to my garden, a lot of times I want to, like, it's almost like a science experiment. I want to see which flowers are going to last the longest. So I'll do like a lot of like little experiments here. So when I went out and I cut the hellebores for this arrangement, I wound up putting a separate batch into this glass of water, and I just put the date because I want to see exactly how long these flowers are going to last. I didn't really keep track of them last year, but I keep reading online that they will give you like an amazing number of days. So I have like little science experiments all over my kitchen. And another thing I wanted to figure out this year is if I know that you can take daffodils that are in this stage, they're just kind of starting to open up, but they're kind of tight, so they're tight, but they're just starting to open up. And what I'm going to do is I want these to be around for my Easter Sunday table, which is in a couple days. So I'm going to wind up just putting them in a little bit of paper towel. And I'm not even going to wet the bottom. I'm not even going to put these in water. I do that with my peonies too. It's called the dry cut method for peonies, but I've never done it for daffodils. But I'm noticing in some of the grocery stores that they're selling like bundles of daffodils like this, and they're not in water. They're just simply in rubber bands. So I think what I'm going to do is just kind of, put them in a little paper towel. I'm going to, clog up the bottom of those stems over here. Hold on one second because Sheldon's coming in on the phone. Oh, no, he's not. He's a good man. If you don't put the bounty paper towel on the bottom, you're going to wind up having all that lycorine running all over your refrigerator. So I'm going to keep these away from fruits and vegetables because it is toxic to animals. And so I think it's probably not so good to us. It usually gives like animals stomach aches. So just make sure this doesn't hit any of the food that's in your refrigerator. And I'm going to leave them in there for a few days. Then I'm going to recut the bottom. I'm going to put them in some water, and they should burst open within a day or two. And then I'm going to take another set of these daffodils that aren't quite open yet, and I'm going to cut the bottoms. I'm going to put them in water, and then I'm going to store them in the refrigerator. And I'm going to see which ones look better, after a few days, and I'll report back to you guys to let you know. So it's kind of fun to experiment with some of the flowers in your garden, especially this time of year. So I'm trying to see who else I can tell you about in this arrangement. That's the basis of it. Some of the status I just bought at the store. I love using status flowers because they are super long lasting. They dry out and they still look like this. I'm going to try to get you in closer here. So those are like those beautiful little whimsical flowers here. But you can tell these red buds look beautiful right next to it. And once again, this is just that ornamental pear tree, just some of those leaves that I had from those branches. And guys, sometimes you could even force the blooms from some of your flowering trees. And that's what we're kind of going to do with the ones that look like this. We're kind of going to force those blooms. We're going to bring them inside, and they're going to burst open in just a few days, maybe even like a day or two. So I'm going to add more of these to this arrangement. And that's basically it, guys. So those are my quick fun tips for today. And please check out the descriptions below. I've got my online flower courses there. They make for a terrific Mother's Day present. And you can give that to your mom or to your friends or to yourself. Hey, you deserve it. And you can also take a look at my new podcast. It's on all the channels. I only have the listing for, I have it for Spotify there. I have to fix that and put it because we're now on like Google and we're on Amazon. So we're on a whole bunch of like different places too with those podcasts. And yeah, so that's it. I hope to see you guys soon. And please let me know where you're viewing this from in this great, big, beautiful world. I love to see how our flower tribe's growing around the globe each week. And come say hi to us over on our Kelly Lehman's Flower Tribe Facebook group, because there's literally thousands of gardeners from all over the world. And they're asking and answering tons of questions over there. Actually, somebody, I think it was on that chat, told me to pick up these Felco pruners, which are unbelievable. They're a little bit pricey, but I have to say, they said that this was like their number one go-to gardening tool. And it's called Felco. This is not a paid endorsement, but I have to say, I do have it in my Amazon shop page below, which I do get a little commission if you do wind up getting it from that link. But you can just go into your regular Amazon. And it just clips really, really nicely. It's like the first time I was using it today, and it's absolutely amazing. A lot of times I'll kind of cheap out and I won't like, spend the money for like an expensive pruner, but I really like this one so much. So I wanted to write down the person's name that suggested it and I forgot. I'm so sorry. It might've been on a YouTube comment or it might've been in our Facebook Flower Tribe page. But anyway, all right, guys. So that's it. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video.